take the another property, associative. For that, we have checked it for S4. You can also check it using S2, S3 up to Sn. I'm going to take it randomly from the same thing, S4. 1, 2, 3, which is again in S4. G is equal to 2, 3, 4, which is again in S4. You can say that like the maximum number here is 3. It is in S3. But you can write this as 1, 2, 3, 4 as 1 is mapped to 2, 2 is mapped to 3, 3 is again mapped to 1, 4 is mapped to 4 itself. Since this is an identity mapping, there is no need for you to write this 4 in short form. So it belongs to S4. And the associative property states that if F composition G composition H is equal to F composition G composition H. Which means it is associative. If they are not equal, left hand side and right hand side are not equal, we will say that it is not associative. First we will compute G composition H. This is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 is mapped to 1, 3 is mapped to 3 itself, 2 is mapped to 2, and 1 is mapped to 4. Since these two are identity mapping, I don't have to mention these two numbers in the short form. 1 is mapped to 4 and 4 is mapped to 1 itself. Then I'll compute, and this is the LHS part, and F composition of G composition H. And I get the answer as 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is mapped to 2, 3 is mapped to 1, 2 is mapped to 3, and 1 is mapped to 4. Since there is no identity mapping here, I am going to include all the elements. 1 is mapped to 4, 4 is mapped to 2, 2 is mapped to 3, and 3 is mapped to 1. So I stop it here with 3. This is the answer of LHS part. Now we will see what is the answer of this RHS part. And first I'll compute F composition G. One, 2, 3, 4. 4 is mapped to 3, 3 is mapped to 4, 2 is mapped to 1, and 1 is mapped to 2. Again, there is no identity mapping here. 1 is mapped to 2, 2 is mapped to 1, 3 is mapped to 4, 4 is mapped to 3. Compute F composition G, composition H. One, 2, 3, 4. 4 is mapped to 2, 3 is mapped to 1, 2 is mapped to 3, and 1 is mapped to 4. You can write this as 1 is mapped to 4, 4 is mapped to 2, 2 is mapped to 3, 3 is again mapped to 1. If you see here, these two answers, the LHS part and the RHS part, these two are the same. This one and this one are the same. So it follows associative property.